Hey, welcome everyone to the Real Estate Roundtable presented by Angie Goulet and Associates. We are a real estate team located in Windsor, Ontario area with Remax Preferred Realty. And in this week's episode, we'll be discussing buying and selling in a pandemic. My name is Steve Blaze, Team General Manager, and I'd like to welcome Angie Goulet, who's also our team leader. So thanks for joining, Angie.
Thanks so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Perfect. So Angie, what did you ever think that as we went into lockdown almost a year ago now, that the real estate market would not only hold its own, but would increase dramatically?
I got to be honest, Steve, I never anticipated what we're seeing in the real estate market. I think when we went into lockdown, my major feeling was absolute fear. And it wasn't really for business as much as for the health of those around me, and I'm sure I echo everyone else's thoughts and feelings at the time was, oh my God, what happens if I get it? Oh my gosh, what happens if my parents get it?
Right.
So that kind of was our focus. And then, 3 to 4 weeks in, business had died completely down and we laid off our staff. We just said, you know what,
Mhm.
guys, it's time to stay home. And that's when the real panic set in. Like, there was no way out. I think when we first thought that it was like 2 to 3 weeks, we were thinking two to
Yeah.
three weeks and we're done. And then after about 3 to 4 weeks, we're seeing there's no real way out of this quickly.
Yeah.
And lay off the staff, we're going to be dead. And then all of a sudden, April was our best month ever. No,
Exactly.
it was April 15th to May 15th. I'm sorry. That
Right.
30-day period was our best 30-day period ever so far. We've since surpassed that, thankfully. But
Mhm.
and then you're kind of juggling, okay, where is this market going and what's it doing? So absolute complete shock that we have had the increases and the sales that we've had this year.
Fantastic. I know that doctors and nurses, first responders, obviously they're all essential services, but when the government deemed real estate or realtors as essential services throughout the pandemic, do you feel that it's safe for buyers, sellers, and realtors to be active in doing business throughout the pandemic?
I will say I was initially shocked, but I do see the wisdom in making us essential, as as housing is essential to everybody, right?
Right.
So at the end of the day, I think that business as usual is not safe. I think that the way we did things 18 months ago cannot be done right now. But I think you can effectively navigate this market, purchase and sell your home. When you're selling your home, you're doing very, very well.
Mhm.
There's very little inventory and an increase in buyers, but I think you can effectively and successfully do that very safely. You just have to follow the protocols that we would like to follow, and not imagine business as the last buying experience or last selling experience you had.
Right. Exactly. So, with that in mind, what are the safety protocols that our team has in place to protect our admin staff and agents in the business?
Well, our admin staff has been staying at home. Even though they are essential, they can go into the office. We have had them at home as much as possible. We do have the proper barriers in place. We do have the proper PPE in place at the office to protect our admin staff if they do choose to go in. Although I will say that we are thrilled to say that they are working effectively from home and doing everything. The only thing we're missing is that team dynamic, right? So that's
Mhm.
sad, but we have the proper things in place at both the office, and the girls are able to do just about everything from home.
Absolutely. And so I certainly miss that, those our Wednesday team meetings and so on.
Me too. Me too.
For sure. So, when it comes to safety protocols, what do we have in place for buyers and sellers?
So for the buyers and sellers, we have, okay, so first things first. You can do all your preliminary, all your, the old appointments that used to happen in the office spaces, those can all be done. You can see your houses by Zoom. Um, that's a very effective tool to weed out the ones that you don't want. If you
Right.
want to view a house personally, or go to a proper showing, we have the PPE in place. We have masks, we have foot covers, we have gloves so that you can view the home, safely protect yourself and protect the seller of the home.
Perfect. Perfect. Looks like we have Arvin Sharda who's been able to join us. So I'm just going to
Hey,
add her in, and we'll say Hi, Arvind. Thanks for joining us today.
Hi there. Hi, Steve. Hi, Angie.
Hey,
My
Arvin.
pleasure. My pleasure. I'm so glad that I was able to get in there. So,
Perfect.
thank you, Steve. Thank you, Angie. Good afternoon, everybody.
Perfect. Technology is great when it works.
Yes. Yes.
So, just moving on here from what you were saying earlier, Angie, uh, why do you think it's important to use a realtor, especially during these times for buying and selling?
Well, for selling, number one, houses are selling sometimes with as many as 30 offers. I've seen as many as 40 offers. When you're selling a house and the average offer, let's say it's netting you 10,000. It's actually more than that right now, but the average offer over asking price is netting you $10,000. Every time you list and sell by yourself, and let's just say you miss half the offers that you would have gotten, that
Mhm.
could translate to a huge number, dollars and cents wise, to you. So as a selling agent, it is just so important that you hire a professional and you hire the right one. And then on the opposite side of that, when you're buying and you're looking at a house price of 199 and you're pre-approved for 199, you're going, okay, so this is it. You're thinking about business as we thought about it 5 years ago, but that's not how business is done right now. That's the beginning asking price. That is, I like to say, it's your starting point, and you need a confident, intelligent agent that has educated themselves to tell you, okay, so this is what we know about the market. If you're looking at 200 as your top end, we should be looking, $160,000, because the average home in that price point. And I'm spitballing right now. I'm not even talking absolute numbers. So uh, please don't think I'm that intelligent to do it off the top of my head. But the average home is selling, asking 159, is now selling for 200. So this is the price point we're looking in. But that's what you need. You need somebody who's educated. They can tell you if you're looking in a certain area that you're going to find aluminum wiring, and that might be something that's a problem with insurance. All those little things that save you time and money in this market are so important, because when you're competing, it's hyper competitive. You need the best edge you can get, right? And that's why having the best agent on your team is so important.
Absolutely. Arvind, as you know, during a large portion of the pandemic, we've been not able to host open houses during that time. Do you feel as though this has been a problem for selling our listings?
Thank you, Steve. I think what has really happened, maybe in the beginning, the realtors and the public, we were not able to adapt too much. We were like all in kind of uncertainty. We didn't know, because we only did certain things the way we were set out to do the open houses. But I think at the time when public got more adapting to the new norm, so to say, I think gradually people have understood. Public has been very well educated, and realtors have been very good at it. And I don't see anymore the difference that we have had in listings and selling. I think market is excellent right now. It hasn't made that much impact now as it did before, but now I think people are used to it now. No more open houses.
Right. Yeah, the new normal for us, I
Yes.
guess, for now anyway. Angie, your prediction for how the market will evolve going forward in 2021, what are your thoughts? And based on our extreme low inventory levels right now, could we be in a little bit of a bubble?
Steve, my instinct says that we're not in a bubble. A bubble is when we see something inflating that's going to deflate quickly. And I don't anticipate that, nor do any of the business models for our city that I've read up on show us that. What I think we will see is an increase. I'm not thinking it's going to be quite, I've read some predictions of 35%. I don't think we're going to quite see that this year, but I do think we're going to see the high 20, maybe 25, right in there, which is still a significant increase in the marketplace. And I think we're going to see, at some point, that's going to level off, but I do think we're going to see a continued influx of out of town buyers, which is, in my mind, and there hasn't been enough data put out there for me to absolutely be positive on this, but in my mind, a lot of the bubble right now, not the bubble, the inventory lull right now is an influx of out of town buyers, and we have a limited inventory. And I think the limited inventory goes from a lot of local people are afraid to sell because they're hearing of horror stories on how hard it is to buy. And we are in lockdown, and that has scared people off from selling their houses during this time, right? They don't even know if they're allowed to leave for a showing with the stay-at-home orders, right?
Fair
So
enough.
I do foresee that we're going to see that continue for some time with people being a little bit worried. And I do think we're going to see these out of town buyers come in because as you and I both know, we learned that we can work from home. And when you can work in an area that is, significantly warmer, has really great infrastructure right across the border from Detroit, and it's much cheaper than the region that you live in, it's a good buy. And we're the southernmost place in Ontario, right? Or in Canada, really.
Yeah, absolutely. Arvind, just some final thoughts. What have been some of your personal challenges with your job throughout the pandemic, and how have you overcome them?
I think, yes, there have been challenges for sure. I think we all, as realtors, we all share the same challenges pretty well. But I do have a little bit extra because my husband is not well, and he, being a little bit compromised his immune system. I had to be a little bit more careful, and I don't expose myself unnecessarily. I have to, but I have been very lucky that I have been able to show my clients out of town people homes. I go personally and do them with the FaceTime, and have done virtual tours, and have been in the house as if they're just walking by next to me, showing them every corner, every opening, everything. So they kind of feel that they are in the house themselves. So I have sold homes with FaceTime, which I can be very proudly say. And when they come to see the house, they have been surprisingly very happy to see, you know what, it's better than what we saw on the FaceTime.
Yeah.
So I have been lucky with that. And also virtual tour, thank God for Zoom calls, thank God for all this technology, that we have been able to keep our job of our role as realtors still intact. And we are adapting to it. And I feel that being in real estate for over 40 years, I don't want to give my age away, but I have really never seen this. But you know what, I'm enjoying it. I'm learning more and more technology every day, and I'm getting good at it. So I think we all are doing great, and we have to just kind of keep on doing keeping an eye on our safety, being well. But we are still doing, as a real estate company industry, I mean, very, very well, in my opinion.
Fantastic. Angie, final thoughts. How about you, your personal challenges, and how have you dealt with them throughout the pandemic?
Well, I think as a team leader, the personal challenge is what I mentioned earlier is we have this great team dynamic. We love being together. We get together every Wednesday, and just that piece of culture missing just kind of it's just a less satisfying experience. That being said, we're having a lot more personal phone calls. Looking forward to the time when we can spend time one-on-one, but realizing the team's still working in a great manner has really it's made that less burdensome, right? But other than that, we're all dealing with the same kind of concerns. I'm worried about my parents. I'm worried about my family. I'm worried about my friends. Don't worry so much about myself, but I worry a lot for my friends that are in businesses that are different than ours right now. And that's a challenge too, right?
Yes.
Is trying to support local, trying to do what we can for all those people that haven't had the benefit of somehow COVID has impacted real estate in Windsor for the better. But that's not the case. And I really, my heart breaks for businesses that are struggling right now.
Absolutely. No, I certainly agree. Well, thanks very much, ladies, for joining us today. And next Thursday, that'll be the 18th of February, we're going to be discussing the new construction market and introducing some builders and some developments. Certainly new construction is hot right now, so we're going to chat about that, and look forward to seeing you all then. Thanks again, ladies.
Thanks, Steve.
Thank you. Thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you, Steve. Thank you, Angie. It was a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Excellent.
Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.